You'll need the following items to complete an engine oil change on your Kubota 010 mower. 4-stroke engine oil. I use the Kubota recommended oil, which is an SAE 10W30. You might need to use a different spec depending on the temperature range where you live. Engine oil filter recommended for the FS730V. A metric size 10 spanner. An oil filter wrench. And finally, a tray to collect the used engine oil and some rag cloth. To begin, you first need to locate the oil sump plug and filter. To do this, approach the mower from the right hand side and find the oil level dipstick cap. It's usually colored yellow but can be orange sometimes. If you then look below the dipstick cap, you will see a black engine oil filter, and below the filter you'll also find the oil drain plug. I'm performing this oil change at 8 hours. This is also known as the break-in oil change on a new engine. The first thing you want to do is start up the engine and let it run without load on the lowest speed for about 3 to 5 minutes. This will warm up the engine oil and make it easier to drain completely. Switch off the engine after around 5 minutes and allow the engine to cool for another 2 to 3 minutes. This will also help all of the oil to settle back into the oil tank. It's now time to use your spanner to unscrew the oil sump plug. Remember to place the oil collection tray under the mower to catch any oil that will be drained. You can unscrew the sump plug by hand once you've loosened it initially by a spanner. Careful not to burn your skin, as the engine might still be warm, and as long as you're not brushing against any of the engine surface, you should be fine. The oil should now start flowing and collecting in the tray you've placed below. Uncap the yellow dipstick to allow the oil to flow more freely, and now wait about 5 to 10 minutes for the oil to drain completely. Once the oil is drained fully, use the oil filter wrench to unscrew the old oil filter. You will be able to use just your hands after you've loosened it initially with the wrench. Take the filter out and dispose it in accordance with your local council's rules. Wait a few more minutes to allow for any remaining oil to drain completely. At this point, I like to take the oil sump plug out completely and give it a clean. Then go ahead and screw the oil sump plug back on. Don't over tighten it. A good rule of thumb is to complete 1 or 2 revolutions with a spanner after you've gently hand tightened the plug. It should feel firm but not jammed in. Now bring out the new filter and grease the rubber seal on it liberally with some new engine oil. I also like to clean out the metal surface on the engine oil tank with a clean rag before fitting the new filter on. Gently turn the filter on the threads to screw it back on. Do not force it, as it may damage threads and end up with leaks. Stop turning it by hand when you feel the rubber seals have made contact with the metal surface on the oil tank. Use the wrench to give it 3/4 of a turn to finish the installation. I would describe the level of fit as quite a bit more than what you can achieve with your hands, but also a lot less than being completely jammed tight. And that's why I recommend using a wrench. Now it's time to fill it up with the new engine oil. Remove the dipstick and clean it well with a rag. Then using a funnel, begin filling in the new engine oil. The Kawasaki FS730V takes 2.1 liters or 2.2 quarts of the 4-stroke engine oil. I like to measure mine out and stop about 100 milliliters less than the recommendation to allow the oil to settle and check levels before continuing to fill the remaining 100 ml. Your dipstick may initially show a higher level, as oil might still be settling in to the tank as well as into the new filter. So give it about 10 to 15 minutes before you check the level and pour the remaining 100 ml if needed. To check for leaks, place a new cloth under the sump plug and the filter and start up the engine. Keep it at idle with no load. Let the engine run for about 5 minutes, distributing the oil to all parts of that engine. If you have any leaks, you would see it on the cloth. Otherwise, you're good to go for another 100 hours before needing to change your engine oil again. I hope you found this video useful. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more such videos. Hit that like button and also please share the video.